Well, this is great news. Hertz is running ads on Facebook encouraging people to rent Teslas from its fleet. So free advertising for Tesla. Free paid advertising for Tesla. Some bad news for Ford. NTSB finds Ford's Blue Cruise was active in fatal Mach-E crash. This is why Europe does not like having BYD. Over the last 8 years, BYD received 2.4 billion in direct Chinese government subsidies reflected in BYD's other income statement line. And in 2023, this subsidy reached an all-time high of $654 million in a single fiscal year. To put this in perspective, had Tesla received a subsidy of the same relative magnitude relative to Tesla's earnings, Tesla would have received 4.9 billion. And Electric 2 covered the story. It said China gave BYD an incredible 3.7 billion to win the EV race. This is according to a new German study, and I think this is actually a really smart move by the Chinese government. They know EVs are the future, so why cannot we make our company one of the world's top EV makers? It's pretty smart. The ARK Invest venture fund has invested in OpenAI. I put emphasis on the word invested, not donated. In the meantime, I'm not upset about this one. We can let them have this one. China dominates US in bid for hydrogen transportation supremacy. BYD makes $1,250 in profit per car sold as it goes for market share above all else. However, that's across all vehicles, and it's likely that they are losing money on pure BEVs. Their strategy is all about taking market share and building economies of scale to dominate the market. It's long-term thinking, and that's good thinking, actually. I agree with their strategy, especially when you have the support of the Chinese government. Is BYD a threat to Tesla, though? I don't think so, and I agree with that. Taking into account the additional value a Tesla provides and the extra margin Tesla gets, the companies are about equally competitive with one exception. BYD says FSD is impossible. If Tesla solves that problem, and it will, then Tesla could give the cars away and still earn a profit on them. Literally, BYD won't be able to do it. Well, BYD will be able to license FSD tech from Tesla if it wants to, which will make even more money for Tesla. Rivian stock hit a new all-time low today and is now down 95% from its all-time high in November 2021. A moment of silence for everyone who made an investment into Rivian in November of 2021 and are still holding on to it. And the market cap is now well under 10 billion at 9 billion. It's exactly $9 billion, and the stock price is $9.20. What are the chances, do you think, that it's gonna go down to $4.20? I think the chances are not low. Rivian, though, does make a pretty good truck. And I think for that makes sense here. In my opinion, Rivian needs to be acquired by someone like Apple for long-term survival. The brand is ultra strong and they have great products, but they need a hell long runway before they can become a viable business. Sandy Munro has a new video about the Cybertruck. They are doing a teardown on the battery pack. He said, "I think I know why now they took so long to get this truck out. I think a lot of people put a lot of thought into everything they did. I'm just really impressed." And when you get a compliment from Sandy Munro, you know it's a genuine compliment, so that means a lot. Also, Sandy Munro thinks the extra space in the Cybertruck battery pack is for gas to escape and added battery impact protection in case you hit a rock or something off-roading. It never looked like enough space for another row of cells. Maybe yes, but perhaps enough space for a larger cell. For example, a cell that's 40% taller.
This and this are kind of unique because here we've got this standoff, and this is an off-road vehicle. So in off-roading, anybody that's done that knows that sooner or later you're going to run over a log or a big rock, and it's going to bang into the bottom of your floor. And when that happens, you're going to have a dent. You're never going to pierce it, but you'll definitely get a dent. This looks like about 25 millimeters, plus another, I don't know, six or 7 millimeters over there. So what you're looking at is over 32, I think 32, 33 millimeters of crush zone that I've never seen anybody do before, but I think is brilliant. I'm looking at some things that are similar to what we saw in the past. and other things that I am totally baffled at. This is a crash zone, and this gap is to prevent intrusion from a side impact. You can see by the outside circles, these are 4680s for sure. I have no idea how they made it so nice and smooth, but I'm guessing that on top here you've got some sort of a mica or something cover, and what they've done is they've pressed it down, wiped it off, and that's where these little green spots are coming through. I want to tell all those people who are worried about me getting, dying because I don't have gloves on. If we look up here, there's this green seafoam green foam that's over the top of this, and then underneath you can see that orange looking plate. That's a chunk of plastic. There's energy contacts underneath there. But in order to get a shock, I'd have to be able to have all that seafoam taken off, those plastic things taken off from there, and then I'd have to have these all removed with the seafoam gone and the bus bar available. And then I would have to reach from here all the way over to there in order to get contact, and that's the only way you can get any kind of a major poke. If I really wanted to die, I suppose if I could reach all the way over to there, and that was uncovered, and this was uncovered, then I could get the full potential of the battery.
I like this sort of design because eventually these batteries are going to go someplace where someone will need to take them apart and recycle, and this seriously minimizes any chance of injury.
So once we get dug into this area, we'll be able to definitively determine how many there are per row, but it looks like 48 if there isn't one hidden under here. So that would be 48 times 7 rows, and 4 of those collectively would give you the total number of cells.
So we should be looking at about 1,344 battery cells.
They're glued in place in such a way where you could not remove them as a module, at least not in any sort of normal way, and let alone replace that module.
Truly a structural module.
So the idea would be the bottom of the cell is the vent. If a cell were to let loose in a thermal runaway situation, the bottom of the cell would push out, it would poke through this mica top. You can see that it's mica, and it's very brittle. The bottom of that cell will push right through it like it's nothing. And that being the case, that turns this whole area into a vent trough, if you will. And in the Model Y, we had these little plastic ABS pieces that provided that same functionality. That's gone. Ventilation capacity is a big thing in battery design. When a battery starts to go into thermal runaway, it's like, hundreds of Roman candles that go off in a sequence.
At the end of the day, we're very impressed with many of the features, all the features actually, that we've located so far in this vehicle. Like I say, the way this thing has been put together and the way that it's been treated differently than all the other Teslas that we've seen, because this is an off-road car, or an off-road truck, I should say. So I'm pretty impressed. I think so far we haven't seen anything that went horribly wrong or something that needs to be brought to the attention of Tesla people. But so far this has been one little adventure after another. I think I know why now it took so long to get this truck out. I think that a lot of people put a lot of thought into everything that they did, and I don't know. I'm just really impressed so far.
And there were a few other little things that I did not include in this video from Sandy Munro's video, and Sandy, of course, is quite impressed, which is really good news for us Tesla stock investors. Omar just did an 83-minute drive with zero input, so no interventions at all, on 12.3.4 from Beverly Hills. That's pretty impressive. CATL unveils a Tesla Megapack competitor, claims zero degradation and more capacity. There's no word on pricing yet though, which is what really matters. I expected competition to come, so this is exactly as expected. Someone parked a gas-powered vehicle in an EV parking spot. I'm not quite sure if this vehicle is fully blocked. Maybe yes, maybe not. They can probably maybe get out if they spend a few minutes, but certainly, I mean, you deserved it. If you parked here, you deserve to get your vehicle blocked. Like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in tomorrow's episode. Thank you so much for watching.